Hey everybody, what's happening? Thanks for dropping by the Star Wars headquarters. Hope you're all doing good, and we're back again talking all things Battlefront 2, of course. But before we dive into the news, I wanted to mention that Star Wars Dark Forces 1 and 2 are now available on Discord Nitro. And Discord Nitro is basically a subscription service that gives you access to over 75 games, which adds up to $1,000 worth of games. You get all of this for $9.99 a month. And, they have other Star Wars games on there too, and their game library goes beyond just Star Wars as well. And you can even get like exclusive Discord Nitro in-game perks like Warframe, the Warframe $50 Ash bundle for only $9.99. So be sure to check it out. Check out Discord Nitro. It's really cool by clicking on the link in the description down below. And special thanks to Discord for sponsoring this video. We really appreciate it. And now we're going to jump into the news and talk about what's going on in the world of Battlefront 2. Starting off with some changes to Capital Supremacy. Because as you know, a lot of the community, including myself, have been complaining that Capital Supremacy rounds can simply last way too long. And this weekend, and as of now, DICE is addressing this by making changes. So they said, we will also be making some minor tweaks to Capital Supremacy. These tweaks will be based around the phase timings, resulting in the ground phase being slightly longer and the capital ship phase slightly shorter. Tomorrow, which is today, of course, Friday the 10th, at 0001 CEST, these tweaks to Capital Supremacy will be live. We'll be monitoring the feedback on this, so please do let us know how you find the changes. The community manager then went to say, the counter when you gain points on ground combat is going to be slower, and the bomb planting phase is shorter. So the second phase is going to be shorter. So he reiterated that to people on Reddit that were asking. So this change is actually now live in Capital Supremacy. And again, they are taking your feedback on this. And there's already some people already, giving feedback on it. Like a Reddit user posted this. They said, the timer for CS is way too short. It's now around 20 seconds. And, the response to this by Jay, the community manager, said, it was shortened as a test for this weekend and will go back to normal on Monday. But I've let the team know that this is probably too short. So they are aware that, some of the changes might be too short or a little bit too much. But at least they are addressing the issue where some Capital Supremacy maps can be way too long. Because, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I was live streaming, and the Capital Supremacy match was going on to 50 minutes. But because the timer was shortened on the second phase, the match ended very quickly at that point, thankfully. And I was glad. I was like, oh, thank goodness the match actually ended now. Forge also said this. He said, we'll be keeping an eye on this throughout the weekend as well and looking at everyone's feedback. It is a server-side change, so we can pull levers as we want and make adjustments in between big content updates. So the good news is it looks like they can actually make these changes in the back end fairly quickly, thanks to the ability to do server changes. And again, I think it's great that DICE is willing to, listen to the community feedback, make these changes, so that way, we're not going to be, or hopefully we're not going to be experiencing, 2-hour Capital Supremacy matches in the future. That's just way too long. I think it's just way too long. I think 30 to 40 minutes is the sweet spot for Capital Supremacy matches. 50 minutes is really getting too long, and 1 hour to me is just way too long. But yeah, again, they're looking for your feedback on these changes throughout the weekend. It is live right now, so these changes to Capital Supremacy are live. Make sure you give your feedback either on Twitter, on Reddit, or on the official Battlefront 2 forums. Let your voice be heard. Let them know, do you like the changes? What do you think needs to be tweaked a little bit more? Because they are definitely listening to these changes, because it looks like they want to really perfect the balance with Capital Supremacy, which is really great to know. So good job on that. So I'm really excited that they are looking to improve Capital Supremacy. Now, we're going to go on to this right here because there was an EA earnings call recently, and EA actually mentioned Battlefront 2, because if you didn't know, in the previous EA earnings call, they really didn't talk much about Battlefront 2, which was kind of concerning, but the good news is they said they are dedicated to giving fans more content for Battlefront 2 in their EA earnings call, which is really good news. It means that, something is going well with Battlefront 2. They reported earlier that the player base has increased so much that it is the same amount of numbers as it was at launch. And, hopefully it just keeps on getting better and better as they add more Capital Supremacy maps, which they will be adding, of course, this month on the 22nd and then also in June. So I'm really excited for that. I think this year has been a huge turnaround for Battlefront 2, especially with the introduction of Capital Supremacy. As I've said many, many times, again, I feel like Battlefront 2 is back because of this new mode, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with Heroes versus Villains as well. Now, what about this month? Where are the community transmissions for this month? I asked about that on Twitter, and the community manager responded. He said, we know exactly what's coming in the next update and when. Of course, he's referring to the 22nd, I believe. He said, we talk about things when we are ready. We have a number of CTs being worked on and more on the way. So that's really good news to know that there are multiple CTs being worked on. And I could not wait to see them. I'm sure there's going to be one dedicated solely to the Heroes versus Villains rework. Also to the new map that's coming up for Capital Supremacy, which will either be Camino or Theed by the looks of it. And then there's probably going to be an overall CT that details everything in the May 22nd update, including all of the hero changes that will be coming up for the May 22nd update, including the Boba Fett changes where he can, dodge an air and then recover an air as well. So a lot of changes coming up to our heroes. A lot of cool stuff with the Heroes versus Villains rework and the new Capital Supremacy map. So again, Battlefront 2 is looking really good this year, and I really hope they continue this past June, because we don't know what's going to happen past June just yet. They have not provided a roadmap update just yet, but I'm really hoping we get more Capital Supremacy maps, more heroes like Ahsoka, Ventress, and so on. And they keep this ship going, and they keep the ball rolling, because they don't want to drop the ball and just stop updating the game, because I feel like the community is coming back alive and the excitement is coming back to Battlefront 2. But yeah, I got a quick question. What would make Battlefront 2 the perfect Battlefront 2 for you this year? Let me know in the comments below. As you can tell, just by the addition of Capital Supremacy for me, that is really bringing back the game for me personally. So that's a huge, huge change for sure. Now, we're going to talk about the Xbox One, because I've been live streaming a lot on the Xbox One with you guys, and I've noticed that there's something going on with the controller. Like, there's the controller will drift on its own on the Xbox One, and they are looking at this. So Jay said the Xbox server issues, such as aim drift, are a priority of ours to fix. We'll provide further details when we have them. As for the error codes from over this weekend, please stay tuned to EA Help on Twitter as we work to resolve this across a few titles. And I believe they fixed that second part already, if I'm not mistaken. But with that first part, with the aim drift, it is something that is plaguing the Xbox One currently. I experience it, a number of times during my Xbox One live streams. It's unfortunate. It's not going to stop me from streaming with you all on the Xbox One. I know a lot of you play on the Xbox One, which is why I do the Xbox One streams. Plus, I love the Xbox One. It's got games like Forza Horizon and so on. So, that's one of the reasons why I really want to support the Xbox One community. And I also play on the PS4 and PC, of course. But, I'm looking forward to this aim drift fix, and I hope they get it out soon. And I'll keep you updated on that as soon as they get that fixed. And to wrap up the video, I wanted to go over an idea that was pitched by a community member on Reddit. So this was posted on Reddit by Nick. He said, someone brought up an interesting idea. In unfilled lobbies like Heroes versus Villains, allow it to be a pre-round where you can spawn in and do whatever. That way, nobody ever gets bored and quits waiting for others to join. So that's a really good point. That's not only going to prevent people from quitting because they have to wait sometimes for other people to join, but it'll give some entertainment value while they are waiting in the lobby. And games like Fortnite already do this, as they're waiting for the Battle Royale to fill up. They're in the lobby space, if you will, kind of goofing off. And it'd be cool to see this for Battlefront 2. I'm not sure how complicated this would be. Of course, I'm not like a server expert. I have no idea how they would go about doing this. But it would be cool to see something like this for Capital Supremacy, Heroes versus Villains, all of the game modes where, as people are waiting for that lobby to fill up, they're not just sitting there at a screen, twiddling their thumbs. They're actually, in the game, roaming around, engaging with other players, emoting, shooting each other, and having fun while they're waiting for a lobby to fill up. So I think this is something that EA and DICE really need to listen to and consider, because it's going to prevent people from quitting the lobby while they're waiting. So it's a very good point by Nick there and by the members of the community. But there it is. That does it for this video today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button. We'll be back for more Battlefront 2 news shortly. And may the Force be with you always.
Wow.